Welcome to the Business Builder Throwdown show with your hosts, D. Scott Smith, Matt Rouse, and Holly Jean Jackson.
Business Builder Throwdown, artificial intelligence.
Today, my 2 AI tips are, number 1, if you have a podcast using artificial intelligence and ChatGPT to develop your show notes is a super fast and easy way you can develop your show notes. And what I do is I will grab the context from my intake form and all the information the guest inputs in there, put it into ChatGPT. And I've already set up ChatGPT where it successfully outputs show notes in a way that I like, save that chat for the show notes so that I can then do a new episode and it does the same thing contextually. And it does take a little bit of playing with back and forth to get the ChatGPT to do it in such a way that actually gives you the output you would like. You still need to edit it as well, but that's really low hanging fruit. So you're not spending a lot of time, wasting a lot of brain cycles on developing your show notes for those podcasters out there. Tip number 2. No more writer's block ever again. Next time you're thinking about what you want to write for your blog, your email list, anything you're writing, the name of a chapter, using ChatGPT to get ideas to name a subject line for your email, to come up with a topic for a blog is great, but you have to be pretty specific on the context of who you are, who your audience is. And if you have some ideas of what your market is facing, the content and the quality of what you get as an output will be much higher. And then from there, you can have a great starting point to write something really neat for your audience, whether it's an email or a blog. These are 2 really effective and safe ways to get unstuck, be more efficient, be productive, and use AI in an appropriate way that's not going to be ethically questioned.
My 2 tips for using AI. Number 1 is kind of similar to what Holly said, but it works for your podcast, but it also works for YouTube videos. And if you were to look at the closed captioning to this on YouTube, you'll see what I mean. You can transcribe your show with something like Descript, but I find it better to use an app called Runway ML. Runway will give you a better transcript for YouTube that has all of the correct time codes that YouTube uses. And once you have that, you can put that into Claude or ChatGPT or Bard, whatever you're using, and you can have it generate not only a catchy, SEO-friendly title for your video, but also a description, and it can do your hashtags. And if that's not enough, you can upload your file of your transcript and have it translate it into another language. And then it will output a file that you can upload straight into YouTube. And so if you're watching this video and you go to closed captioning, you can select Spanish and you'll see that we've used ChatGPT to translate the transcript into Spanish so non-English speakers who speak Spanish can follow along and still get the information. My second tip has to do with repurposing content. So if you have a video podcast or you're creating a YouTube video like we are here, then you can take that video and you can put it into another tool like GetMunch is the one that we use. There's also repurpose.io, Blur, there's a few other ones. What those tools will do is select segments of your video using AI, of course, and then it will cut the vertical video out of it, save those sections for you, as well as give you the titles, descriptions, and hashtags to use. So you can create your video, cut it into smaller pieces, and then you can use those for social media, Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, that kind of thing. And depending upon which program you're using, personally, I use GetMunch, and you can have it add the captioning while you're talking, and it'll even highlight the words, kind of like in karaoke when it highlights the words as you sing them, it highlights the words as you say them. So that's a great tool, and you can also edit the captions. So if they spell your name wrong or something like that, or your guest name wrong, you can always correct it in that tool.
So my 2 tips, one is going to be a little bit high level, one's going to be a practical tool. And let me start with the high level. And one of the things that back in the old days, if you wanted to sell a lot of books, there was 2 ways to do it. One was to have Oprah Winfrey hold up your book and say, "I love this book." and you'll sell a lot of copies. Or you could have had Rush Limbaugh hold up the book and say, I hate this book, and you'd sell a lot of copies too. You know, there's a lot of people out there who have created artificial intelligence right now, getting up in front of the news media and saying, we need to put regulations on this. We need to be careful because AI can do this. And there's all the doomsayers saying it's going to take over the world. It's going to think better than us. AI is just a tool. It has been around you for years. You've been using it already for years. So the first thing is, don't be afraid of artificial intelligence. It is just a tool. And there's a lot of great things that you can do with it. Now, the bad guys, they're going to do bad things. And will they use AI? Of course, because they use every other tool out there to take advantage of people. But don't be afraid of it. Learn to use AI in your business. The second tip, and this is a practical tip, hire a VA in the Philippines and record your videos and send them to your VA and have them do all the summaries so you can take and turn it into blog posts and use all the comments. Or maybe you want to do what I did and just get the plugin for Chrome for ChatGPT for summarizing YouTube videos. So those hour-long videos, and you want to find out, hey, is there anything worth watching in this? Put it into your Chrome browser, use the ChatGPT YouTube video summary, and have it done for you. Then you can scan through and see, is this 1 hour long video worth watching? You'll probably find some good stuff. And by the way, this is a third bonus tip. All of the Business Builder Throwdown videos are worth watching. You don't need to summarize those.
So guys, I wanted to play this clip for you. I'm using a program called 11 Labs. There's also another called Play HT that is very good.
I looked at both of those based on your recommendation.
If you need a narrator for something, like advertisements, social media, that kind of thing, you can get a really solid voice out of them like this.
Welcome to the Business Builder Throwdown Show with your hosts, D. Scott Smith, Matt Rouse, and Holly Jean Jackson.
Not bad. Do you want to introduce the topic today?
I was like,
Oh, I thought you were doing the introduction. I was like,
did he freeze?